My name is Shola Cole, and I'm excited to be here at Three Phase Center for the month of September. I am going to be unpacking, honing, pulling apart some works with some ongoing works in progress. I'll be working on more time traveling tools for my alter ego pirate Jenny. And I'll also be working on aspects of time travel using sound, mainly pirate radio. I will be seeing how I can redo, unpack, reorganize Pirate Jenny's traveling tools, and I'll also be using sound, incorporating sound. I would like to see how that folds out in front of a group of people and just how I can continue to tease that out. I really want to focus on how I can continue to embody Pirate Jenny's tools, which are time traveling implements. I want to see how I can really incorporate the aspect of radio, even the technical part, and how I can really create and craft those tools since I'm here in this awesome space. I'm excited to embody that and really see what that looks like going on the body and creating work from that. Also, I am just beyond excited to be here at Three Phase Center. It's gorgeous, it's healthy, it's beneficial. The host is amazing, and I'm just really glad to be here. I really like this one because being othered, being queer, time traveler, pirate, for whatever reason, I keep thinking about the wounded healer, and this is giving me the tools. As a wounded healer, I can heal my own wounds, and I have compassion for others, and also the aspect of the back staff, being worn on the back, and it's just it was around the studio, and I just loved the bamboo again in the studio. And I loved it's almost like having a shield, almost like a little samurai, just kind of time travel and slash your way through the elements. And it's wrapped around the waist a little bit. So I'm playing around with that. Again, this is like a basic version. And here I am playing around with it in the front. I can take the rope and put it around the front, and it sits very much. And I was also thinking that I could put things in. Maybe I'm picking up wisdom, but again, this wounded healer idea, this time travel tool, the backstaff inspired by the Mariner instrument, and it's definitely active and combative. Protective, perhaps, but I can also forage and gather truth and information. But I really liked the versatility on this one, wearing it forward and back, and how it just made me feel like I could move. Again, time traveling through whatever it was, but the wounded healer thing really sat with me. There's something very protective about it, protecting me, insight I gain, and I'm able to help others and learn. But this this really felt like I could protect something myself, protect others, use my insight that I've gained living, time traveling. And I did like the arm aspect as well. I could focus. So yeah, this is a very versatile time travel tool. It's the back staff, and PJ as wounded healer has found different ways to manifest this tool. So this one is handheld, and I like to call this one the Mariners Astrologe. I particularly like this one unexpectedly because it makes this really cool whooshing sound. And Pirate Jenny likes to use that because it speaks to speaking up and being vocal. Oh, I kind of hit something. But it's really something for just speaking up, speaking out. It's a very sound based. Actually, I did a couple of rituals this morning with it, and I was like, well, this thing is loud if I swoosh it around. So the lightness, it can be used in both hands, and it just cuts through time. Now, this one is called the Quadrant. And I attached this version. I'm going to be building on this, but there's a rope that goes under the arm. And I like this one because Pirate Jenny loves it as it attracts truth. I think sometimes I feel with whatever's happening, I don't always, my silence, sometimes I feel the truth is lost. So this is really important for invoking, reflecting, attracting truth. It can be obviously to the side, up, down. You can hold it different ways, but mainly grabbed in the front with the fist. And it is a great truth reflecting, seeking, time traveling tool. Yeah. So this one is the Latitude Hook. This actually has mariner roots in Polynesia, and since I liked calling it this one because it's my tools are made from bamboo, and this one is inspired by the tool that has bamboo and it's got a split circle in real life. It's worn on the thigh. This one is a little protective of my legs for mobility. I need that to get through life, time traveling, and navigating. So I wanted something to protect Pirate Jenny's legs. Um, I know the residency was towards the end of 2019, and really that was such an eventful time. And I know one of the premises that time traveling, tool wielding, radio wave hopping, um, entity, creature, person. Uh, One of the things that Pirate Jenny is always in touch with is the tools. And I loved that during such a tumultuous time of 2019, being able to go up to the residency because I was very mobile because I was navigating, real life work, 9 to 5, actually digging into what each tool meant. I know I came up with the astrolabe and some other tools, but I know when I had started working with tools, when I had started like making these tools, they were a bit nebulous, but they were instruments to navigate time, travel through time as queer, as Black, as lesbian, with gender nonconforming edges. Um, and so that time at three phase, well, not only was it just healthy because it was just like green stuff and there was like literally a green field behind me, and um, even some of the tool making ingredients were there. I loved being able to tease apart what each tool meant. I know, for example, I created one tool, found from bamboo, kind of pieced it together. one was for seeking truth, just being able to name and create around concepts. Like one was for truth, to actually speak my truth. I know Pirate Jenny, as many artists who work in performance using an alter ego, I do think an alter ego is this rising out of hardship, out of trauma. Um, but Pirate Jenny is Shola, Shola is Pirate Jenny. So thinking about those protective pieces, thinking about forms that speak to the need to speak truth. I mean, and then also just a beautiful, supportive uh, reception. Um, you know, I want to call it like a gallery talk, like this wonderful artist talk. Um, Giving myself kindness and room to talk about what the process was like rather than coming up with this scripted or structured performance. In that way, that became the performance. I thought it was beautiful that people got to interact with what I made. It was so wonderful to see you like roll. I remember you just rolling around in cohesiveness with how the tool made you feel. Um, and honestly, like it was just great to see so many wonderful artists who I respect and admire show up. And of course, I didn't expect, uh, Linda or Jaguar or you just to, fully embody these things and play and try different things. So, yes, I had one way that Pirate Jenny wore the tool, but in sharing that with others, in inviting others to say, hey, what would you do with it? I think that opened up a lot for me. I'm like, well, PJ wears it this way because it's this way. And, it's what she does when she goes to time travel, it goes on this part of the body, whatever. And there's Linda like playing, you are my son, or Jaguar Mary is like completely embodying it one way. And like I said before, there you are just rolling it around on the ground because it's rolly and that's the kind of embodied artist you are. So that I think if you wanted to call it a performance, I think that was interactive. As far as influences, I was thinking about this the other day. A colleague of mine invited me to talk to her students. It was so wonderful. And she was teaching a class on Ghost in the Machine. She was talking about, science and fiction and art. And prior to that, I had also taught some high school students with Sadie Nash. And I had to actually take all of Pirate Jenny and put it into 4 classes and teach these young Zoomers. Um, this was like right in the middle of the pandemic. So, in Zooming Pirate Jenny and bringing these students through and getting them to develop their own tools and what tools they needed, I started to think about, wow, why is Pirate Jenny? Who is Pirate Jenny? Um, what brought Pirate Jenny here? And I really have to give a big, huge nod to Christoph Wadisko. He is, I guess, what you call an industrial designer, Polish immigrant, and just a beautiful and layered and harsh and you know moving homage testimony highlight to the displaced and the unheard. And his work on immigrants and immigrant tools. So he had this set that he did, um, immigrant instruments, in which the bystander or the passerby could engage with somebody holding these instruments. And they became like this vessel for stories, listening, these totems that people could engage with. And and then he even had some that were more restrictive, that went over the mouth, that actually had pre-recorded material so that the person wearing it was spoken for. Um, so really thinking about, those implements, those instruments that, and his work on just highlighting the unheard, or his take on the immigrant as futurist fortune teller, um, highlighting what needs to happen socially. And I just remember showing this to my students over the summer, and talking about Pirate Jenny and why Pirate Jenny exists, being like, these are the tools that Pirate Jenny uses, and this is why PJ has them, because somebody was making instruments to highlight, those people who are completely integral but are not always acknowledged. So that's why PJ's here.